This is another edition of Bro Talk Live Braggadocious. My name is Jay Urban. That is the word, if you guys didn't watch the debate last night, that is sweeping the nation because one Donald Trump decided to use it. And he is our next Republican nominee for president. And we will talk about the debates. Plus, we have news on Gabby Sidibe, Isaiah Washington, a Q&A question that is probably a little ridiculous. And, of course, we have some just thoughts on all the seats and everything else. Oh, and Dex, you're going to have a BS report too, right?
Absolutely.
How are you, Dex?
I'm really good. Dex the one here. I'm full of stamina today. I'm like Hillary Clinton last night, and I'm ready to go.
All right. Ty to God. What up, bro?
I'm doing all right, making it in.
Are you cold? Like, what's going on? Why do you have a hoodie on?
It's actually freezing in here. I think I'm
outside, like fall came and was like, I'm here.
Oh, hold on. The seasons change over there? What's going on?
Yeah, the temperature here must be like probably about 0 degrees.
Are you serious?
That's about right. It's freezing out there. You can wear sweaters now.
I'm freezing.
This is amazing. Like, I don't know what that feels like anymore. Like, it was a smooth 97 today.
That usually
it was
happens
97 degrees today.
Water where you live.
Why you sound so mad? Like, I'm happy. I wish I had some cold weather.
I'm happy for you. I think that's great.
Bill, how are you, sir?
I'm here.
I know that's right.
The cold weather and I don't agree. So it minds if I get my attitude together really quickly.
Huh. All right. Well, moving on. Bill, you said you're here. You just showed up, basically.
Barely.
You know, really by skin of your teeth. Someone else who barely showed up last night was Donald Trump at the great debate.
Well,
like that?
It was huge, okay? And we were busy building the wall. Okay, the debate was huge, okay? Huge numbers, huge amounts of Mexicans tuning in, huge amounts of uneducated folks, huge amounts of loan sharks out there. Huge, huge, huge. I tell you, I did well last night. It was huge. Huge. Thank you. Huge.
The debates broke the record as the most watched in U.S. history. Well over 80 million people tuned in to see Hillary and Donald face off, setting a new record in the 60-year history of televised presidential debates. Nielsen's $84 million total counts people who watched traditional TV channels at home. People who watched the debate at parties, bars, restaurants, and offices were not counted. Neither were C-SPAN viewers, so that means that the total was actually much higher. On Monday night, Twitter said that the first debate was the most tweeted debate ever. And given the rapid growth of streaming options, it was also certainly the most streamed debate ever as well. So I just have a bunch of numbers here that I want you to guess what they're for. So what does the number 51 represent for the debates last night? What number is this that, what has to do with that number?
How high we're building the wall. 51,000 feet. Huge, completely huge.
51 is, if I'm not mistaken, where people, I think CNN put Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump.
All right. Actually, no. 51 was the amount of times that Donald Trump ended up interrupting Hillary Clinton during last night's debate. To contrast that, Hillary interrupted Donald Trump 17 times. The number 12. What does number 12 represent in last night's debates?
How many Mexicans went back home last night? Huge, completely huge numbers. Huge, I'm telling you, it's all huge.
Is it the amount of times Donald Trump snorted last night?
Close. It's times Donald Trump said wrong during the debate. And that would be 12 times. The number 18, Bill.
The number 18 is the amount of blacks that are voting for me. I do well in that community. It's huge.
Dex, you gotta guess.
18 is the amount of time that 18 seconds was the amount of time that Lester Holt was able to control Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
No, that's right.
That's actually pretty accurate. It was actually the number of times Barack Obama's name was used in the debate, even though that he seems on his way out, seems like he's still a big focal point. And last but not least, the biggest number of the night, 94,749. What does
the amount of Syrians that cannot come into this country because it's ours and we're taking it back? Huge numbers. 94 million of them. We're keeping them out. Huge.
Dex.
Does this have something to do with the amount of delegates the two of them have to get or something like that?
Actually, no. It's actually the amount of retweets that the tweet about him saying that global warming was made by the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing. Now, that's something that he said, and he swore Lester Holt off that he did not say. So that has now been retweeted 94,749 times. Some more stats really quick about the debate. Hillary Clinton ended up speaking for 41 minutes. Donald ended up speaking for 44. Hillary had 6,100 words spoken. Donald Trump had 7,800 words spoken. Hillary was asked 17 questions. Donald was asked 15 questions. Hillary dodged no questions. And they have Donald as dodging 4 questions in last night's debates. Hillary was not fact-checked at all by Lester Holt. Donald Trump was fact-checked 5 times by Lester Holt. And Hillary basically said Donald was lying. Hillary said Donald was lying 26 times, and Donald said Hillary was only lying 10 times. So, guys, also, last but not least, it takes 3 pages to read the 34 false claims that Donald Trump made during the debate. Basically, 34 lies that Donald Trump told during the debate. It's 3 pages long. You can check it out on Hillary's site, Politico, wherever else you want to go. But there are a lot of fact-checking sites, and it showed that Donald Trump actually lied about 34 things at last night's debate. Guys, what were your takeaways, if any, from last night's debates?
We're screwed.
I don't think we're screwed as much as this is going to be a huge election. You hear the Chinese folks, listen up. The Chinese are here. They're taking our jobs. They're like, we have very against police judges, okay, folks. And if Hillary gets in there, well, it's going to be even huger, okay? They're going to be more against police judges, okay? And we can't stand for it, okay? We need law and order in huge walls, okay? And the Mexicans, well, listen, okay, we can't have taco trucks on every corner, so they've got to go, okay? Nobody's going to scale the skyscrapers and clean like them. But folks, listen, I tell you, they're rapists and they're killers and, they're Mexicans.
Believe me.
Gotta go, folks. Believe me. I don't lie. I don't lie, folks. Believe me, okay? I know more about foreign policy than the generals. Believe me. I've never been, but I know, okay? It's all huge, 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 okay?
Dex, how do you feel about Trump? According to social media, he had 69%, I guess, of the reactions, the conversations going on. Is that a win for Trump?
I mean, yesterday when I watched it, my initial thing was I said when I first started watching, I was like, oh, he's doing very well, like much better than I thought he would do. Yeah, like when it first started out, he was doing very well because like he was very calm and he wasn't like attacking her like he normally does. And like for a while, like for the first 43 minutes, I thought he did very well. And then that's when Lester introduced like the conversation about race. And I think that's where it went downhill from him because like he got defensive. He started to attack her. He started to attack Lester. And it was just like the Donald that we're used to. And then today he was speaking in Florida at a rally, and just watching the rally, it's just like, oh, this is the person that we kind of forgot about during during the primaries, like the person who cares more about the size of the crowd versus what he's actually saying. Today in Florida, he talked so much about Rudy Giuliani, and it's just like an Arnold Palmer. And it's like, why are you talking about them when these people need to know what your policies are? And it goes back to it. I think the debate yesterday really showed that Hillary is preparing herself for presidency, and Donald Trump is not doing that. And they even kind of admitted it yesterday. Like she said, I've been preparing for this, and you can kind of tell by her answers. They seem like very well, like scouted out, like rehearsed, and like she knew what she was going to say. Whereas him, on the other hand, it would just seem like he was just talking, like whatever came to mind just kind of came out. So it'll be interesting to see the next debate because it's actually a town hall debate. So it's not just the two of them just like standing there talking to each other. They're getting questions that may or may not have been filtered from regular people. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, no, I'm not doing the next debate unless Sean Hannity is called up, folks. Believe me, I won't even be there. I'm not releasing the texts because I sent it to Hillary in an email, and I'm not doing it unless Hannity is called. Okay, believe me, folks. Okay.
It really is a joke. It's like such a joke, and it's a shame actually. I have people like, oh well, I'm highly considering just going ahead and voting for the Green Party, which I think is a stupid move. But I mean, I will let people do what they want to do. But it's like, you really feel like you don't have options. Like you're not really rooting for anybody. You're like, it's almost as like Hillary's your friend because Donald's your enemy.
Which is silly.
And that's what it is.
So do you feel comfortable voting for Hillary at this point, or?
I mean, I don't really think
I'm as comfortable as I'm going to get. It's happening.
Dex?
Well, for me, like I just think like voting is something that's private. You know, it's not really something that we need to like say like, oh, I'm going to vote for this person, I'm going to vote for that person, unless we're going to go out there and like campaign for them. I'm not campaigning for either one of them. I can tell you that. But like, I just feel like whoever you vote for, that's kind of like a private thing, and especially if it's one of those situations where you're really not. You're not fond of either one, but you know you have to go and you want to put a vote out. Like,
vote for Donald Trump?
I think it's. I just think it doesn't matter. Like it's a personal thing. You know.
I don't think it's that personal. I think like the parties stand on certain issues.
Yeah, why is it personal? Let's get to that. Why is that always the thing?
Listen,
I just don't think it matters.
If you don't vote for Donald Trump, you're a jihadi terrorist or Mexican. That's it. You're illegal. That's the way it goes, folks. Believe me, I don't lie about these things. Believe me.
I think a lot of why voting is private is because like people feel uncomfortable having other people question them about their thoughts and their opinions, whatever. Like if a person thinks a certain way, like that's their prerogative. Like they don't have to defend the way that they think. So like,
yeah, but sometimes you think a certain way because someone hasn't explained to you another way. And
yeah, but listen to that though.
In a sense, it's just you. It's essentially you protecting the thoughts that you have that really may not have any basis for you to have. And if someone just explains something to you, then you might be different.
But listen to what you're saying though. You're saying like you shouldn't think this way because you don't know anything differently. Like, and I can understand it. But
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying. But like, I mean, have you had all of your options open to you?
But I think that's the purpose of these debates and these conversations between the politicians, and that's why people, you have to read and you have to like and watch stuff to know what's going on. Like, I think you do know what the other party stands on. It's just up to you to decide what you want to do. Like, I don't need any of my friends to tell me who I should or should not vote for. Because I don't want to have a conversation with my friends about who I'm voting for. You can have it private,
but I don't think people saying, "Oh yeah, no one should ever tell anybody who they're voting for." I think that's
I didn't say no one should ever say who they're voting for. I said I don't tell people who I vote for.
You said that's something that should be private
for me, because you asked me specifically.
You didn't say
you're talking about me. Yeah, but we were talking about me at the time, so you knew that was about me. Yeah,
I was talking.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything about Ty when he said who he would or would not vote for. I was talking about me.
Oh, so okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, calm down. It's not that serious. I mean, if you want to vote for Donald Trump, that's fine. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise.
Don't say because you want to vote for Donald Trump. No,
because you
don't put that narrative out there. You don't say that.
I'm just asking a question. You have the right to refute it or not. I mean, if you don't want to refute, I have the right to make an assumption.
You don't have the right to
that's true. And when you're choosing not to say something, people choose to just put you in whatever category
they feel like putting you in.
They can.
Exactly. So you have the right to refute that.
Having to explain yourself, you'll just be explaining something different. You'll explain either way. I choose not to tell anyone because, well, you're now explaining something, so you might as well go ahead and throw it out there.
I'm good.
We're okay if you're a Trump supporter. Like, I'm not one of those people who's just going to automatically kick you out of his wedding because.
He said about that invitation.
Bill, how did you actually like the debates as Bill, not Donald?
I think I might do the whole show as Donald.
No, I'm not. Can't fake that.
Actually, I thought the debates, it was a scary but hilarious thing. Like, it's scary because of all the Americans and all the qualified people that includes like Scooby-Doo, who gets to the mystery in 30 minutes or less. That's what we came up with. Like Donald Trump, who was sucking down that water, sniffling and sneezing, snotting through the whole thing. And Hillary Clinton, whose face looked like a scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. Like, it's bad. Like, it's really, really bad. And that, yikes, those heels. Like, and Donald Trump, he did not answer one question. Like, he actually did not answer one question.
I disagree with that. He answered quite a few questions.
You can disagree, but
he's specific when they said what he's going to do for African Americans. He said, "I'm going to bring back stop and frisk." He answered that.
That might be the only question he answered. Him and David Duke are friends.
About the only question he answered.
He's going to lower taxes on rich people significantly, because that's going to bring, like, his idea is that if he saves rich people enough money, they'll have so much money that they'll start sharing with the poor.
But it's not, because he just said he did. Like, he admitted to not paying taxes, and
he did not admit to not paying taxes.
He did. He said she said you didn't pay taxes. He said that makes me a smart businessman. That's conceding to the idea that you don't pay taxes not paying taxes. Wait a minute, I'm not done. Not paying taxes makes you a smart businessman, as he has declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy for every raggedy piece of company he started, and the ones he didn't declare bankruptcy on, he sent them over to China. That's why those raggedy ties that aren't even 100% silk are being made in China and Thailand. I don't want to hear it. Good day. Next.
I guess that'll be that. Moving on. We have a lot more election to go on for the next couple of months, so of course we'll have more coverage on that. Isaiah Washington is an actor, if you guys don't know who he is, and he recently spoke out in kind of a Kaepernickish type of way, where he wanted to do his own form of protest. He put this on Facebook, basically, calling for people to participate in this protest. It happened this past Monday. He said, on Monday, September 26th, we are shutting down no work, no school, no shopping for 24 hours. Our goal is to maintain the safety of our people while significantly impacting Americans' broken judicial system that is oppressing us by removing our labor, our bodies, and our money from it. For 24 hours, I asked everyone to follow Missing24 on Instagram, blah, 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 blah. Can we do it? A call to action. Stay home, September 26, 2016. Guys, if you would have known about this earlier, is this something that you think you would have participated in? Yes or no?
I knew about it. I just didn't do
it. Why didn't you do it? Do you feel like this just wasn't your type of protest?
One, it's not my type of protest. Two, I work in an urban school district. I don't see what me staying home and allowing havoc to wreak under my watch would do, because I wasn't there. So I don't see how that's going to benefit our people in any way, shape, or form for me to stay home from work. So I didn't go shopping, mostly because I'm poor, so I didn't do that anyway. So I guess, like, I didn't see the purpose of me staying home and how that would help, so I didn't do it.
He did get a lot of backlash from people who are saying, look, we work 9 to 5s, like, we need our checks, we live paycheck to paycheck, we can't afford to miss a day from work. Dex, how do you feel about the backlash that it got?
Well, I think it's fair. People do work 9 to 5s, but I don't think that's accurate to say to Isaiah Washington, who hasn't worked since Grey's Anatomy in 2004. So, like, he understands the struggle of not getting a paycheck. So it's easy for him to stay home. Yeah, he knows how to ask everyone to stay home because that's what he's doing 24/7. But for the rest of us who like to make a living, we can go out there and we can work and still fight for the cause. Like, I don't have to not shop or buy things in order to say, like, there's an issue with America's judicial system. I don't understand that narrative in 2016 where people feel like we still have to do things that were done in the past to get laws passed and to raise awareness for something. We don't have to do that anymore. We're past that.
Bill, is this something that you participated in or you thought to participate in?
Absolutely not. Like Ty, I also work in an urban school district, and me staying home is doing no good. I mean, like Ty, I'm also poor now, so I didn't shop. Well, I mean, I bought food. Does that count? See, like, I need guidelines. If we're going to protest, right, like, you have to tell me.
I'm not about to sit here and go on a hunger strike.
Come on, like, it's like a diet. Like, you need to tell me what I can eat, what I can't eat. If we protest, you need to tell me what I can buy, what I can't buy. Don't just be like, oh, no shopping. So I'm supposed to fast now too. So, like, I'm fasting and protesting. Like, you gotta let me in on something. Like, when they did the bus boycotts, they was like, yo, we're not riding the bus from here to here, these buses or that buses. We're gonna walk from here, here, and here, and then this is what we're gonna do. They just like tweeting out stuff, Facebook and stuff. Oh yeah, we're not doing this, and everybody's like, oh yeah, paint your profile pictures black. Like, we don't. What does that mean? What does it actually mean?
I don't know. I just feel like right now it's just I don't think that that's the approach that we need to take to get things done. I think, like I said in previous shows, that we need to pay closer attention to who we're voting for in these local elections, not just for presidency, but the local elections, the one that affect your everyday lives, to really make changes. Like for me to stay home, like I have responsibilities, and the people have responsibilities, not only to the jobs that they're performing, but to their families and everything else. Like you staying home from work, like what is that supposed to do? Like I want to know what that's supposed to do. Like if I stay home, I get a day. Like what is that doing?
It's supposed to give you. It's supposed to give actually your job a realization.
My job already works.
Wait, the job will say, "Well, oh, there's no black people here today." Oh, look,
they're going to say, "Look."
And we still got through the day without them. Maybe we don't need them after all. Like I don't understand. Like
everybody at my job is black except maybe like 6 people. So I don't know what that would do. Everyone who's in charge at my job is black. So what are we gonna have? Chaos? Like what would we do? Why would we do that?
Yeah, like, I mean, it's an argument.
Like, he doesn't really the thing about that is, even though he hasn't worked since Grey's Anatomy 10 years ago, he still lives in a first world. Like are you going to give us all of your Grey's Anatomy money while we go on this day strike? Like,
no.
And also striking for 24 hours is doing nothing for anybody.
Right, exactly. Like even if everybody did call, like you'd miss some revenue, but like you'd be fine. I'm just like, I didn't think it was a good idea. I thought it was ridiculous, and I ignored it. So,
and do me a favor, everyone, if you guys are watching this, I don't know who these numbers are that keeps texting me, but like, don't text me about these boycotts and stuff like that, because I'm never gonna do it. So stop texting.
It's like them chain messages. Dex is like, if you don't, your mom gonna break her back.
Yeah, like I mean, tough stuff. Break that back, but I'm not protesting. Like, I'm good.
All right, moving on. Favorite of the show. We haven't had her on the show for a very long time. Gabby Sidibe. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Girl, guys, Gabby Sidibe has lost a gang of weight. Look at these pictures from this year. She did a new commercial, and she's also been around town flaunting her new weight loss. This is her in comparison to before. So shout out to Gabby. You guys want to give any encouragement to Gabby to keep pushing away?
I'm sorry, which one is?
She had those Hillary Clinton heels on. That was good.
There she go. See, especially that one in the lower left. She actually.
What's she doing with them paws?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm happy for her because for a while it's concerning when someone says, "Oh, I love my figure and I'm this and that." So we're not making fun. Well, some people are making fun of her for the purpose of making fun of her, but some people, like, it's really not healthy to live like that. And even losing 10 to 15. 20 pounds, however much weight she lost, is going to do
lost 50 pounds. Like, she lost 50 pounds. So
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Dex, are you happy for Gabby?
Going to do wonders for her health. So I'm really happy that she decided to go for it.
Dex, you happy for Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, like, one thing I liked about her always, that she always seemed to be very confident in her body. Right. So like that is great. And if this new weight loss, if it's healthy, like, go, I mean, more power to her. Hopefully there's nothing like in the back like happening that's forced in this, but like I think it's great.
No, I think she's literally just doing it. So shout out to her. She was in, I think it was, whose commercial was it? It was who was it? I think it was like Lane Bryant or something like that. She did this commercial for it, but it was really good. So shout out to her.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's working a lot, and she's probably like, around people who are encouraging her and helping her, and really trying to help her health-wise, like not to make fun of her. Because a lot of times when people were telling her to lose weight, they were doing it in such a mean way that it's almost as if she didn't want to do it because of the mean comments. But I think she's probably surrounding herself with good people and really being happy, and people are actually trying to help her, and it's happening. So I'm happy. I'm proud of her too. It's hard to lose that much weight too.
That's what's up. All right, time for Q&A.
Q&A. This is the segment of the show where you are able to participate. It's not like I'm doing offering.
You doing offering?
Yeah, like this is where everyone can participate. All right, Jay, you want to read our options?
Well, I already picked what we're going to do because this father-in-law home pregnancy thing is like, that has our names all over it.
All pretty good. So we have the person as a father-in-law, place, home, thing, pregnancy. Grandfather is the person, place, home, thing, gun. And lastly, we have the person is a stranger, the place is a plane, and the thing are seats. So we pick 2 out of 3.
All these have our names written on them, like
written all over.
These people know us.
Yeah.
They know that we're going to be totally ridiculous, and they're going to come to us with these serious issues, and we're about to be ridiculous. So please don't. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, don't waste time asking us for real advice, because we're going to slay you if this is ridiculous. But anyway, let's do the first one. So Dex, is everybody at least okay with that one?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's do father-in-law, home, God, pregnancy.
I want to hear about this grandfather too.
Everyone, mind you, my sick voice. I'm a woman expecting my first child with my husband of 3 years. My husband's father is a family doctor, but used to deliver babies many years ago. I've always found the openness between my husband and his father concerning any and all medical issues strange, but just like, did I read that wrong? Because I confused myself. I'm sorry. Chalked it up to not ever having a doctor in the family. However, we just told him that we are expecting, and he went straight into doctor mode with me, making me very uncomfortable. He asked many questions about my uterus, told me many gruesome details about pregnancy and childbirth, and even went in to feel my stomach to see if my uterus was expanding. While nothing he does is outside the scope of what would go on in the doctor's office, I still get such a creepy vibe from it. I freaked out a little and shut the conversation down when I can. My husband thinks I am incredibly rude and that he is just a doctor relating to me the only way he knows. To me, he is simply father-in-law. I know he has good intentions, but I'm still uncomfortable and hate that my husband doesn't see things from my point of view. How do I manage? Is there a way you can
the rest of this pregnancy in a way that we can all keep the peace?
And am I the only one who can't? Well, how come I can't never see it?
I can't see it either.
Oh, okay. That wasn't as interesting as I thought it'd be.
I know. I just knew you were gonna be pregnant by the father. Like that's what
right.
Oh my gosh! What kind of people do you think watch this show?
Oh my goodness! I was epic. Like the way you wrote it, father-in-law. I was like, oh god, that has our names written on it. This certainly does not have our names written on it.
No, but this is simple though. Like I look at it like one, you could easily just say like this, look, I love you, but hey, the personal space is not gonna work out. Like I'm uncomfortable with this. However, looking at it just like the 4 of us, like whatever your profession is and what you're doing for a living, like you can't help but take that everywhere you go. Like Ty and Will, like Ty cannot hear you talk and say a word wrong or whatever without correcting you. Will cannot hear you sing a note off key without correcting you. Jason can watch or hear a song or whatever and not let you know like what year it was made, who composed it, how many seconds the song is. And I like really can't watch a movie without letting you know like, oh, that was a jump cut, that was a bad cut, they should redo that. So like whatever it is, like whatever the person does, that they can't help it but take that home with them. So like whatever you do for work, I'm sure you take that home to your husband, maybe even to your father-in-law. So like I get it, it's your personal space, but like you really got to realize like that's just how people are. Like that's what he's doing that like like all day, or he used to do it all day. So that's it's second nature for him.
That was really
I didn't find like the details. I didn't find them creepy. I don't know. Maybe I'm more. I don't know.
The touch of her uterus was a bit much. Like that's a little invasive.
Like you touch your stomach, like oh, I wonder for you to like. I can see a doctor in the family acting like that. Like just like when somebody, but you do have to sometimes ask someone or request that someone separates himself from work. Like for example, if you have a person who's always in charge at work, and then they get home and they're like always telling everybody what to do, you have to sometimes tell them like, I need you to slow down, relax. You're not at work. I'm not going to do everything you say. And everyone around here does not have to listen to you. I don't know where you think you are. So you can kind of do the same thing in a polite way. It's like, Dad, I'm uncomfortable. I assume you guys should be close by now. I'm uncomfortable with the whole medical thing. I kind of like don't want to be at the doctor every time I'm around you, and just let them know. I don't see why that should be an issue. But maybe I'm just.
I have we keep asking follow-up questions, but I don't think anybody emails us and answers these follow-up questions. Because I have a follow-up question. Like, is he actually your doctor? Like, I want to know now.
No, he's
I
not
want to know.
a doctor.
Huh.
Just a father-in-law.
Well,
I mean, if I had a doctor in my family, I'd probably be annoying too. Like, what is this? I have this.
I mean, maybe she's just creeped out about the whole him touching her on the stomach with a bare hand and feeling around. And, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little weird. Maybe he's creepy. Who knows?
I don't know. You know how people are with their legacies. They're probably like, yeah, this is legacy building inside of you, all kinds of bullshit like that.
All right. Second question. You want the grandfather
home and gun. Come on, that sounds like a good down home story.
Stranger planted seeds. We could do both if you guys want to.
Oh yeah, let's do both.
Oh God, do we have that kind of time?
Yeah, we could speed through them.
All right.
Let's get the home gun up first.
My girlfriend's 82-year-old grandfather is doing well for his age, but not as swift and smooth as he used to be. Lately, when we go over for dinner, he gets me alone and asks me to buy a shotgun for him to use for protection. I own a handgun, but they live in a small suburban town in a home with an alarm system. If her grandma, knew her granddad was asking me to buy him a shotgun, she would flip. I, however, am much less direct. I simply stall and say things like, I haven't seen any shotguns for sale lately. After we leave, I often get in the car and tell my girlfriend what a bad idea this is. But she brushes it off and acts like he's not serious. He is. I wish she can stalk to see. Am I like messing up here?
Talk.
Oh, I was like, wait, what's happening? Talk to him because I feel like he needs to hear that this is a bad idea from someone. But I don't want him to feel like I ratted him out. I'm not entirely in the family yet. Should I tell my girlfriend to step in, or do I keep her out of it and continue to slow play her granddad on this myself? Jason,
I think you should mind your business.
First of all, I think, Jason, you need to start writing fiction or like subtitles or something, because you're really good at making a story seem way more interesting than it is.
I'm telling you.
The titles, huh?
Like, how do you do that? Like, you need to be doing those like previews. You ever like see a preview for a really good movie and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see it, and the movie's absolutely terrible.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah. What? People collide.
You get there, you're like, what?
I meant Paper Towns. That's what I meant.
Paper Towns. Oh, there we go.
No, with this story, like, honestly, like, what? First off, I just want to put out there that I'm against guns. I don't think anybody needs to have guns. I don't like them. I hate them. Like, I don't like guns. The last thing I think who needs a gun is an 82-year-old. Like, what could you possibly need with a gun? If you didn't have a gun when you were 70, 60, 50, and 40, 30, and 20,
maybe he could fight back then, and he can't fight no more now because he's old and frail.
That's true.
Well, you don't need a gun. Like, if you're old and frail, a shotgun is the last thing that's going to help you.
He wants to snipe him out. He see him on his lawn. He wants to snipe him out.
And first off, if this man is telling them, if his boy is telling them like, oh well, there's no guns on sale, I can't find one, and he's believing that, just keep telling him, oh, there ain't no guns on sale. They got rid of the guns. The government. Tell him that. Like, he'll believe anything.
You know that Hillary.
Hillary. Like Hillary.
I am on the other end of the spectrum. I believe in guns. My family has owned them. I have my license to carry, and all that kind of thing. Buy that man a gun. Stop being ridiculous. He's been asking you for the gun. Go and get that gun.
I think you should get him a BB gun and just tell him it's a shotgun. Like,
no,
you don't get him buy like the rifle BB guns.
Get him a starter pistol.
Yeah.
If they would pass laws like they should, that people who buy and supply guns for other people, that they're responsible when these people go out there and kill people, then we would have less murders. If you get him a gun, I feel like you should be responsible for it. If he goes up there and he kills someone, you should be responsible for it. Think about that before you go and buy this man a gun.
That's not right. That's
absolutely right. That's how it should be.
Nah, because that man ain't pulled the trigger. His granddaddy pulled the trigger.
Yeah, but that man is the one who gave this old man a gun that he didn't need one.
He was asked the old man go get the gun himself.
Because he can't even drive. Like, bound to like a wheelchair or something.
I'm like, There are some 82-year-olds who are super vibrant and actually are still capable of doing quite a bit.
I feel like you should tell your girlfriend and just get over it, because I just don't feel like an 82-year-old guy. If you don't think it's a good idea, I think it's probably for a good reason. And I don't think the grandmom would appreciate him having a gun in the house anyway. So it's not going to fly either way. So you might as well just tell her.
Or last long with him having a gun in the house.
If you don't get pop that gun, he probably gonna tell everybody in the family that he don't like you, and then they ain't gonna like you, and then y'all ain't even gonna get married. Get pop that gun.
That's true. All right, they do have power. All right, last but not least,
just keep ignoring Pop and keep it pushing. Anyway, recently I had a flight to the U.S. Virgin Islands for my birthday. We sat toward the rear of the plane, no problem at all. As I got into my seat, I gave the person sitting next to me, a piece of advice. My usual tactic for dealing with reclining seats is to just put my knee up against the until the person stops trying to recline. I value the space in front much more than other people do, and I almost never recline my seat. She told me that if she saw me doing that while I was sitting with her on a flight, that she would report me to the flight attendant. Obviously, the situation is the fault of the airlines, but it is really so rude to just silently say, I'm sorry, is it rude? Blah, blah. No, I don't want you to recline, to someone who is practically putting their seat on my face without asking.
Stop being cheap and get you a regular airline in the front of the airplane, and you ain't gonna have to worry about nobody reclining on you. You're welcome.
I think your method is fine. If that's what you do when you get on an airplane, that's fine. But don't tell other people to do that. That's not really.
She said I gave that lady a piece of advice.
Some unsolicited advice that she didn't ask you for it. And
Kelly was about to report her.
You got what was coming to you. The woman said, "Well, let me catch you doing it."
I mean, the whole reclining seat thing, like those little clips are illegal now. Am I correct? Where you put them into my seat and they can't recline back any further.
Oh, they have clips. I ain't know they even had clips like that.
No clips.
Yeah, you can bring them on a plane where if you can actually stick them in the front of the seat in front of you, and the person can't recline back.
You can bring them on the plane. Oh, they definitely illegal now because they don't play that stuff no more.
You're allowed
nothing.
You're allowed to bring them on the plane. Like look them up.
So you're like a pocket protector?
I don't know. Like I don't know. You stick it in the thing and it like stops that person's seat from reclining.
You got some nerve. You got some nerve to what?
Like I think it's super rude to recline.
So you're probably reclined back, and then you got something stuck, so the next person in front of you can't do it. Like that makes no sense.
So you think it's rude to recline your seat? I don't think it's necessarily.
I don't think it's a problem. I just don't think you should be telling other people how.
I don't like when people do it to me because I have long legs, but I don't think it's rude.
I think it is. Like I wouldn't get on a plane. I mean, you recline a little bit, but not like.
I mean, you're not at home.
If you get you a seat in the front of the aircraft,
is that like first class?
First class.
I have never and probably will never purchase a first class ticket. Like,
treat yourself once in a while. Treat yourself. I promise you'll be glad you did.
It's not that serious.
You won't have to worry about nobody in a 2-foot vicinity.
I'm not paying extra money just to stretch out for a second. I can ball up, get ready to go, and get up and get out and stretch. I'll be fine.
Please, not on them 8-hour flights we be taking. To and fro, zipping up the mountain for weddings, going over the Mount Rushmore
for weddings.
Send
us your questions at brotalklive.com. We will answer them and be wonderful about it. Thank you.
Can't hear you.
Jay, I thought it was just me. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit here. Yeah. No, you're not here. So our next segment, apparently it's called Who Got the Answers?
Or we could just skip to the report.
Jason's out for the count. Done.
Out.
Hear me now? All right, I'm back.
Oh, great.
The next, it's time for Jizza Time, also known as Who Got the Answers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play some things for you, and I want you to kind of, I guess, explain to me what is going on and why this person did this. So first up, we have a crowd favorite. He goes by the name of Orlando Brown.
Raven titties, Raven ain't. Her titties had no color.
Is it me?
Actually,
no, Jake, you gotta run that back.
I gotta run that back.
Yeah,
I thought it was just me. I tried to like just.
Right, I was like trying to hold out. I was like, well, maybe it's Comcast. I'm gonna have to go off.
All right, hold on for 1 second. Let me get this together. And I got you. Where's my thing at? All right, so here we go. All right, so yeah, the first one is Orlando Brown. I don't know exactly how this is going to work really good, but we shall see. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Let's play.
Just bear with us, wonderful people.
It's the perks of a live show.
I know, right?
Raven titties, Raven ain't. Her titties had no color in them. It was just still, you know how they simple and nice still. I'm telling you, there was all. She light skinned, so there was all. The titty was all one color, and it was nice. And
Wait.
She had the brown and the dick. It was just, I don't know. It was what you call it, the areola. The areola, yeah, the areola, yeah. Talking about just the areola.
All right, we've seen enough.
What? Definitely seen enough. I have so many questions.
So nervous about the second one, areola, because it had no color.
Yeah, that was Orlando Brown. There you go.
What
I want to get a hold of his anatomy. I really want to know what his disability is.
Well,
I think if I were to guess, specific learning disability.
Yes.
If I were to guess, I'll say it's the Isaiah Washington effect. Like them checks have dried up. When you ain't cashing the checks no more, you do stuff like that.
You guys can make out what he was saying. He was talking about the state of Raven-Symoné breasts. And
wait, specifically Raven-Symoné?
Yeah, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, he's talking about Raven's mammary glands.
But why is he wearing a high school incorporated life skills program shirt? I'm sure that life skills program does not want to be associated with him. Like, do not do those people a disservice and associate yourself with them.
So I thought that was a life skills program for people with intellectual disability. I assumed he was in the program.
Jason,
even if he is in the program, do you think they want people to know he's in the program?
They're like a student in the program, not.
Ty, do you think if he's in that program, that even though he's in the program, people are going around like, yeah, Orlando, nobody wants him to be associated with that. They probably didn't even have a choice in taking him.
It's safe to say we don't have the answers to that one.
All right, moving on. The second thing is Mary J. Blige. She recently did a video with Hillary Clinton. Check it out here.
You keep your hands inside. Is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a wallet? This is your life. It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret. No secret, my friend. You can get killed just for living in your American skin. Oh.
So yeah, how did you guys like that Mary J. Blige song? She's actually going to be doing an interview with Hillary Clinton on her new show called What's the 411, playing on Apple Music. So guys, are you excited for that?
Hillary was sitting there like, I too am a lover and a secretary working every day of the week.
That's what you thought Hillary was thinking? Because I thought Hillary was thinking, like, if you don't get this, like, Mary J. Blige's husband or ex-husband at this point set her up for failure. He was like, if you're divorcing me, I am going to embarrass you. So he sent her to do that mess that she put out there. Like, it is so awkward. And you should have let Bruce Springsteen keep that song. And it's so awkward to just, that's like me right now, just randomly jumping out in a song while we're having a conversation. Like, that is the silliest thing you could have possibly done. Apple, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves for doing that.
It was like really, it was a little disturbing to me. I'm like, why? And then she grabs her hand and like, I don't want this scene. Like, don't.
As she's reading the lyrics off like an iPad or something like that. Miss, if you don't get
nothing is worse though when she jumped up on that table for Burger King. Talking about,
no, this might be worse. This might be worse.
William, can you just bust out in song? Like, you don't find that strange?
Like, this is worse because the crispy chicken thing was like embarrassing, but you're talking to the potential next president of the United States and you want to sit there and read and have like a song with her, like you're like on Glee or something. Like,
did y'all see Hillary's face? She's like, I also don't want any hateration or holleration in this dancery.
It was really strange for me. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No answers.
Is it a gun?
Still don't got the answer. Nicki Minaj has a new song with DJ Mustard. If you guys haven't heard, it's called
Mustard on a beat.
That's him. She has a new song with DJ Mustard. It's called Don't Hurt Me. It also features Jeremiah. Here's a lyric from the song. She says, even if you was Curry, B, there's still a LeBron. But let's face it, I'm Curry with rings like LeBron. Adding my rings up, that's Mike Jordan. So I did the math. LeBron has 3 rings. Steph Curry has 1 ring. Michael Jordan has 6 rings. So where does the other 2 rings come from?
You got to add in Meek Mill somewhere in there, and then it all makes sense.
We actually don't look to.
That was a good one. 2 negatives.
we don't look to Onika Mirage for mathematics support. So I think we just
not going to be tutoring the youth of America.
No, she's certainly not tutoring the youth of America on their mathematics. Her husband can't even. Are they married? Her boyfriend, the one she's shacking up with, he can't even read. So, I mean,
what's Meek's real name?
Rameek.
Oh yeah, that's right, Rameek. So Rameek really can't do he can't do math.
He can't.
How you know he can't read?
He can't read.
How do you know?
He has a 3rd grade reading level.
How do you know? How do you know this?
Come on, listen. I can't tell y'all.
You looked at his papers. You looked at his papers.
Just know he can't read. He got a 3rd grade reading level.
You looked at his papers.
I want to count his reading level.
Ty, are you disappointed in Nicki Minaj?
Am I disappointed?
All right, moving on. Are you disappointed that the African American Museum has a section with Nene Leakes in it showing gestures of dismissal? I think this is actually really good. She posted this on her Instagram page. I think it's really good. It's the African American History Museum and History and Culture Museum. I think Nene is part of our culture now.
I think it's great that they use Nene Leakes with her blonde wig and her black nose. I think it's great that they put that representation in there, like she is African American. So I think it makes a lot of sense to put on there, and I'm glad they did it before she changed her nose. Yeah, it's a good job.
Oh, okay, that's a good way to look at it. Todd.
We could have
Then not that face.
Bill. Okay,
that's his friend. He can't say anything bad, but I'll drag her for you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We could have done without it, but
that's your stepmother.
First and foremost, I don't want you to think wigs and belly is.
Oh,
I know her son.
Yes, report.
Please, thank you.
All right, I have a pretty interesting one today. A couple of pretty interesting ones for you guys today. So there was a man who was charged and arraigned on drug trafficking charges. Police were looking for him. He was in his home, so they went to the door and knocked on the door, and they could not I mean, somebody opened the door, obviously. As they're looking through the man's stuff, an old man opened the door. As they're looking through the man's stuff, searching the house, they call out his name, and the old man who was the person they were looking for in a disguise actually answered to it and ended up going to jail. They found $30,000 in an empty laundry basket of his, and then they found a stash of heroin. So he'll be going away for a long time.
Did they kill him before they found the heroin?
Moving on, there's another situation regarding the police. There was a 90-year-old woman who just received a large settlement from the police. So what happened was and she's an African-American woman, and they didn't shoot her either. But what happened was there was a shooting. Her grandson was shot, and police came to the house, and they're like, he must have been shot here. She was like, no, he must have got shot somewhere else. The police officer then said to the woman, I'm coming in this house because I feel like he got shot in the house. She's like, you're not coming in here without a warrant. The police officer proceeded to walk into the woman's home to look for blood because he figured that she might have shot her grandson. Long story short, the man tried to go down into the woman's basement. She said, "You're not going down in the basement." He said, "You watch I go down there." A scuffle ensued. The two of them, the 90-year-old woman, 87 at the time, scuffled with this police officer and broke her wrist. And the police officers went downstairs to look for the blood. The woman then decided to close the door into the basement and latch it and said it's his fault. And the police officer was locked in her basement to further notice. And they just settled and gave her a $96,000 lawsuit, which she says still is not enough. One more story I got for you guys.
She want $1 million. She's trying to be rich. She's trying to be living up in the Hollywood Hills.
Two more stories after you guys.
Cashing Trump checks.
There is a man, if you want to cash some checks, there's a man in New York City who calls himself a professional cutler. If you would like his service, you can go to cutler.com and you can enlist, and he sets it up for you. He does it with men and women, women who have intimacy issues, men who maybe their wife isn't cuddling with them, whatever. Each session is $80 though. And lastly, if you don't need to cuddle,
do you have to have clothes on, or like what's the rules?
From the videos that I've seen, like they're all clothed. He doesn't seem like he does provide conversation for you, but I don't think there's any intimacy. He will tickle you and hug you, but I don't think he does anything aside from that. And final BS report for today. There is a new chip that's going to be coming out in March of 2017 where they insert a chip inside the tip of the male penis and the labia of the woman's vagina. And what you do is you sync these two chips up, and there's a smartphone on your application that will show you that anytime his organ or her organ is either inserted or something is inserted inside of them, you will get an alert to your phone, and it'll tell you that your mate, and it'll tell you that your mate has inserted their chip inside of something else.
Y'all.
That is Dex's BS report for the week.
Y'all.
Wow.
Dex, go sit down.
Wow.
Go sit all the way down.
Wow.
Y'all get
right.
up.
That's a new level of surveillance right there. Time for seats.
Yikes. That's like Big Brother's no longer watching, but you're watching Big Brother. Like, but yes, it is time for seats.
And I do mean big.
Oh, what? That's your business.
Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. Jason, have a seat.
So I need to seat two conglomerates, like two companies, like two big organizations. The first being T-Mobile and the second being Apple. The both of them have to have T-Maybe and Apple. So I updated my software maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And the screen stopped working on my phone. Okay. So I decided, well, maybe it was something I was, how sometimes you're like scrolling too fast and maybe the screen got to catch up with you. So I figured that's what I was doing. So I slowed down a little bit. Well, 2 days ago, my screen completely stopped working when I got home. So I decided that when I got off work, I was going to go to Apple yesterday. So I went down to Apple, and this probably should be a BS report too. Like I went down to Apple and I walked in and I, went to the Genius Bar and they gave me an appointment. I got down there, it was like maybe like 4:15, 4:20. And so they were like, yeah, we'll give you an appointment and your appointment will be at 4:55. Swell, I'll just go do a little shopping downtown, go get something to eat and come back. I came back, it was 4:40. And the reason I know it was 4:40 is because I'm usually late to things and I was early. I decided I was not going to be late for this. So I got there at 4:40. That started the trickle down of foolery. As I walk in at 4:40 to check in, the woman checks me in and goes, "Oh, your appointment is at 5:05." I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. He checked me in at 4:55. So I need to speak with him so that he can get me back on point. Because I'm not waiting till no 5:05. I have other things to do."
So you can wait 10 minutes?
Absolutely not. Right. I have other things to do.
You had nothing.
I'm so fake busy that I had
the phone that you broke.
Now I didn't even break it.
I
see why this is a BS report now.
I didn't break it
because he broke it. Like I
did not. No.
The heavy thumb.
No. Shut up and listen, because this wasn't the phone I broke. I didn't break this one. I broke the first one. No, I didn't. So I get in there and they going through, and they check the serial numbers on the back of my phone. Well, you know what this man tells me? "Oh, we're sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do. And we see that you have Apple Care, but there's nothing we can do because this is not a legitimate iPhone. T-Mobile sent you just any old thing." I said,
passing the buck. They love doing that.
Live for it. So you know what I did? Marched my happy black tail across the street to T-Mobile and flung that door open. Somebody's going to deal with this, and somebody's dealing with it now. I sat in that T-Mobile for 2
so did you announce that? Hold on, when you flung the door open, did you say that when you flung the door open as you was walking in the store?
Listen, I walked in that store with that door. I said, "I need to speak with a manager, and I need to speak with one now." They were like, "Well, sir, there's a line." I said, "I'm not waiting in no line. I'm not waiting in a line." And so
it annoyed the hell out of me.
2.5 hours at the T-Mobile store, only to be told by one of the T-Mobile representatives on the phone, "Oh, well, we're going to send you a new phone. We'll expedite the shipping, so you'll get the phone tomorrow. Blah 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 blah." Right? She then gets to tell me it's $5.40 that I'm not paying. I'm not paying any $5.40 for it. She says, "I'm going to send you the email confirmation. We'll automatically generate it and they'll send out to your email." Well, I get home and I go on my iPad and I'm like scrolling through these emails. Would you believe that there's no order for a new phone? So here I have to wait another day. So I called T-Mobile up again while I'm at home, and I laid these people out. I let them have it so crazily on this phone. I cursed out every single person that I talked to on that phone because they were just making excuse after excuse after excuse. And I should not have to put up with foolishness. So Apple, because you decided to pass the buck to T-Mobile, you can be seated. And T-Mobile, because you tried me so hard and made me spend 5 hours of my life that I will never get back for a phone that I'm actually not paying for because I went off and y'all are paying for it. This woman gonna tell me on the phone and I'll be done. Donald. She gonna tell me on the phone. She gonna say, "Well, it's just $5.40. I said, "You pull out your credit card and you pay the $5.40.
It's crazy.
Foolery.
I'm good for that. Like when I used to work in that field, I used to be so good with like, "Oh, well, it's just $3. It's just shipping." I have 2 really quick seats. My first seat is a little personal one. I can't say the company because work-wise, but I have 2 bank accounts. One is with a credit union. One is with another company for now. But the one I've had it since high school when I started it as a student, and I keep it now, and I keep like $20 in there. To pool. No, I keep the money in there just for the WWE Network and Netflix, which is basically $20 a month. So I make sure I have $25 in that account every single month, and that's it for the checking portion of it. Just because I don't want those things to automatically draft out of my regular money, and then I don't have no money to pay my car note. So, I'm just, and I never even checked the account. I just know what's always in there. So I got a new phone, so I'm putting all my applications and stuff like that on my new phone, and I put the bank application on there. So I go in there, and it says I'm overdrafted by 97 cents. And I'm like, how do I overdraft on an account that I never even used? And I was like, oh, Netflix must have got smart and added a couple more dollars. And I was like, oh, no, they didn't. So then I'm looking through the transactions to see what's going on, and I'm charged a $4.99 maintenance fee in 2016. You think it's okay to charge people money to hold their money in your raggedy account? Are you stupid? That's it. And as soon as I find some free time, I'm going down there and I'm canceling that account. You think I need to pay you $4 to hold my money. And then it's the same bank that if you go and use your ATM card somewhere else to pull money out, they charge you to pull the money out. Like, let me let you know.
Bank of America. It must be Bank of America.
No, this is definitely Wachovia.
You give me their number, Dex, and you let me call them.
Wachovia? I heard Wachovia.
I'm sorry, I meant Wells Fargo. That's definitely Wells Fargo.
But look, at the end of the day, I have a credit union. They don't charge you anything they don't charge you a maintenance fee. They don't charge you to take money out of the bank. So like, why would I keep my money in your account that you're charging me to do all this regular stuff when there's other banks that don't charge you, and I can put it in under my damn mattress? Like, for all that, like, it just makes no sense. My second season, a really quick one. Last Friday, I went to the Bad Boy reunion concert, and it was one of legit the best concert I've been to like ever in my life. And I've been to like a lot of concerts.
Was it better than the Ashanti show?
Way better than Ashanti, better than Drake, better than Beyonce. Everything. Like, DMX was there, Total 112. Diddy was amazing. He had this coat that was just like, oh my god. Mace, I'm not gonna say Lil' Kim because she was bad, but everything else was great about that concert. She looked like she looked like
the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah,
I don't even know where
that on the stick.
But let me give a quick seat out. So we're sitting there, and my friend's like, yo, Faith isn't wearing a bra. And I'm like, oh, she really isn't. And you see the chest flopping or whatever. And I'm like, whatever, but she's grooving. She has a dress. And my other friend's like, look at her belt. Like, that's like a rainbow belt that she has on. That's a pretty nice dress. And she cinched it with a rainbow belt. I'm like, yeah, okay. The very next day, I go on social media, and apparently Faith wasn't wearing any panties, and with a dress with a split up to her forehead, and the snatch is out. And I'm just like, you have children,
what was she showing?
the snatch, the monkey. You have children. You have people in the audience of all ages. We don't need to see that. Faith, you need to sit down.
The box.
What that box?
Talking about something got a new album coming out. Miss, you can show all the snatch you want, but we're not buying that new album. Next.
Why are you surprised? I mean, she married Biggie. I mean, what you expect?
She always been old nasty.
You act like she married Biggie last night. Like, this whole I'm married to Biggie Small thing, that died a couple years ago. At this point, sweetie, we need you to get it together and grow up. If Little Kim's not walking around there, with her snatch out, thank God. We definitely don't need it from you.
Little Kim walking around looking like Mulan, and she expects us to think that she is
more like
who she is.
More like she ate Mulan.
Ty, do you have a seat?
I don't actually. My life has been going pretty well.
Oh, I know that's right.
Okay.
Until you check your bank statement and you see that maintenance fee.
I know. I've been meaning to move away from that bank. I know what bank you're talking about, but it only does that, I think, if you have less than a certain amount of money in there. Which
that's who you need to take the money from. The people who have less than a certain amount.
Yeah, like the deal is if you don't have this amount of money in the account, they charge you the maintenance fee.
What in the Donald Trump? Like, so you take from the poor? Like, okay.
Oh yeah, that's how they do it.
All right, cool. That's the show for Ty, for Dex.
Wait, really quickly. I need to shout out one of my coworkers that watched the show. I have to. I have to.
You have to?
I absolutely have to.
I don't think so.
Well, good thing you don't get paid for your support. Thank you, Diana, for watching the show. We really appreciate your support.
Thanks, Diana. We appreciate you.
Yes, how wonderful.
Don't forget, check us out on Facebook for clips throughout the week. This has been another edition of Bro Talk Live. All hearts and minds clear?
Amen.
Yes.
All right,